You're watching Mirror 7 News. Stay informed, stay ahead for more news.
The Arizona Diamondbacks found themselves in a high-stakes battle on Tuesday night against the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the timing couldn't have been more critical. With just over a week left in the season, every win carries playoff implications. Coming into the night, the D-backs sat just one game back of the Cincinnati Reds and New York Mets for the final National League wildcard spot. The Reds slipped up with a loss to the Pirates, but the Mets pulled off a dramatic comeback at Wrigley Field, rallying from 5 runs down to beat the Cubs 9-7. That only added more urgency for Arizona, which desperately needed a win to keep pace. The game itself was tight, with Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani controlling the early innings. By the 5th inning, the Diamondbacks trailed 1-0, the only run coming on a solo blast by Teoscar Hernandez in the second. On the mound for Arizona, Brandon Pfaadt held his own, scattering 3 hits and striking out 4, but Ohtani was the story. The two-way sensation carved up Arizona's lineup, racking up 8 strikeouts in just 4 innings, while surrendering only 2 hits. For a team chasing October, those strikeouts felt especially costly. Arizona manager Torey Lovullo had more than just the Dodgers on his mind this week. Baseball's competition committee voted to bring the automated ball strike challenge system, the so-called robot ump feature, into the majors in 2026. Each team will get 2 challenges per game, with successful ones preserved. Lovullo already has ideas about how to handle it. He suggested that challenges should mostly be in the hands of catchers, not pitchers, since emotions can run high on the mound. Pitcher Zach Gallen echoed that view, saying he preferred to let his catcher make the calls, though he admitted he might tap his head for an obvious miss every now and then. The Dodgers, meanwhile, are closing in on yet another division title. They've already locked up a postseason berth and could clinch the NL West at Chase Field this week if results break their way. With a rotation featuring Ohtani, Blake Snell, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and Emmett Sheehan all in strong form, they're shaping up as a formidable October opponent. Their bullpen, however, has been inconsistent, and all-star catcher Will Smith remains sidelined. Still, the defending champs have won 12 division titles in the last 13 years, and they look poised to make another deep run. For Arizona, the challenge is clear. Pfaadt has had success against the Dodgers this year, but inconsistency has haunted him, and the team's offense must find ways to scratch out runs against top-tier pitching. With upcoming games against Snell, Yamamoto, and then a trip to San Diego, the road won't get easier. Every at-bat, every inning, every decision now feels like it could determine whether the Diamondbacks play into October or watch from home. Dodgers edge Diamondbacks as Ohtani dominates early. The Arizona Diamondbacks are finding themselves in a tight race for the National League wildcard, and every single game now feels like it carries the weight of October. On Tuesday night in Phoenix, their challenge came in the form of the Los Angeles Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani, who wasted no time showing why he remains one of baseball's most intimidating arms. The Dodgers struck first, thanks to a solo home run from Teoscar Hernandez in the second inning. That blast off Brandon Pfaadt gave Los Angeles a 1-0 lead, and it held into the 5th inning. Pfaadt, who has been up and down throughout the season, wasn't pitching poorly at all. He allowed just 3 hits, struck out 4, and issued no walks through those early innings. But Ohtani was simply overpowering. He surrendered only 2 hits while racking up 8 strikeouts in 4 innings, making life extremely difficult for Arizona's hitters. For the Diamondbacks, the situation could not be more urgent. They entered the game sitting just 1 game behind both the Reds and the Mets for the final playoff spot. A break in the standings seemed possible when Cincinnati dropped their game against Pittsburgh 4-2. But the Mets kept the pressure on, rallying back from a 5-run hole to stun the Cubs 9-7 at Wrigley. That meant Arizona needed this game against the Dodgers to keep pace, and early on, it was not going in their favor. Around the matchup, there was also plenty of talk about baseball's future. The league announced that the automated ball strike challenge system, known as ABS, will become a permanent part of the game in 2026. Diamondbacks manager Torey Lovullo shared that he already has ideas on how to use it. He expects catchers will control most challenges since they have the clearest view of the strike zone. Pitcher Zach Gallen even admitted he'd prefer not to handle them himself, instead trusting his catcher to step in when necessary. The strategy around when to challenge, whether in a high-leverage late inning or even an early at-bat, will be another wrinkle teams will soon need to master. As for this week, the Dodgers are closing in on yet another NL West title, potentially their 12th in 13 years. Their pitching rotation looks sharp, with Ohtani, Blake Snell, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and Emmett Sheehan leading the way. Even with injuries to their bullpen and the absence of all-star catcher Will Smith, Los Angeles still feels like a juggernaut. The Diamondbacks, meanwhile, know the road is steep, but they've played the Dodgers tough this season, splitting their first 10 meetings. With upcoming matchups at Chase Field featuring Ryan Nelson, Zach Gallen, and Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound, Arizona will have chances to respond. Still, as Tuesday showed, when Ohtani is locked in, even the slimmest margin can feel impossible to overcome. And for a Diamondbacks team clinging to playoff hopes, every missed opportunity stings just a little bit more. Stay subscribed for more videos.